Hello everybody, welcome back to another day of shenanigans. My name is Sean. Welcome back to the Art Mod Shop. I don't know why I jab so much. So today we are going to be starting to work on the Inwin case, the Inwin 301. Beautiful case, well built. I mean, it's just like those old computers that are just freaking built like tanks. I feel like this is the same way. It's just amazing how not flimsy and how rigid it is. So I'm going to be starting on the shroud today. I'm going to be cutting it out of aluminum sheet, which is 0.025 aluminum, and it will be the PSU cover, the PSU shroud. Is going to be the Mount Everest base camp sign that is actually there. So I'm going to be doing an exact replica, well I guess not an exact, but I'm going to be doing a replica of that for the PSU shroud, PSU cover, whatever you want. The Inwin 301 does have a built-in enclosure, which is very nice. And I don't think I'm going to mess with this case too much in that aspect. I don't think I want to cut and hack things if I don't need to. Because I find that when I start doing that, I don't stop. It just goes on and on and on, and I find things just to cut off. It can serve multiple purposes. I'm going to have the PSU in here. I don't know which one I'm going to have. I do have my Ion one right now that I do want to use. But for right now, all of the parts that I'm putting into this, well, most of the parts that I'm putting into this are just placeholders until I get the parts to actually put in there. What I am going to be doing is making that shroud, and it's just going to be like a snap-on shroud, I guess, if you will. It will be held on there, but it will not take place of the actual enclosure that Inwin has already built into the computer. So yeah, so that's what we're doing today. Now that base coat of paint, the primer, I use a self-etching primer, and now that is dry completely, I'm going to go over it with a coat of black. The reason I'm going over it with a coat of black right now is so that when I put the stencil over top of it, I'm going to be using a positive stencil. So that means whatever's underneath of that stencil is going to be whatever color is behind it. So the letters are black, so I'm going to spray a coat of black across the whole thing, and then once that dries, then I'll put the stencil on, and then I'll put the yellow on. So it's a process. It's a lengthy process because you gotta wait for the paint to dry. So you better have other things to do while you're waiting for that to dry. everybody. Well, thank you for coming and watching me and joining me in the Art Mod shop today. I hope you learned something. You can apply this to anything, really any mod that you do. The painting process is time consuming, but it's well worth it if you have the patience for it. If you do not have a Silhouette, Cameo, or Curio, or any type of vinyl cutting machine, you can always go and get sticker paper from Staples or any office supply shop and use an X-Acto knife or some type of blade and cut it out, draw your design on there, print your design on there off the computer, and yeah, it's quite simple. You don't need fancy tools. You know, I used tin snips to cut the metal, and it did a pretty good job. Once you get it sanded down and finished, it turns out very nice, and it will not cut you. So yeah, thank you everybody for coming and watching, and I hope you all have a safe, happy, and a fun night. Goodbye everybody.